Thanks so much for joining us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I'm Joy Limnacron. A big day for students all across Metro Atlanta. Several districts are back to school once again. Let me show you some footage from Cobb County as students return to the classroom today. And I want to show you on Atlanta News First, I assume that if you have a child in one of these districts, you know that they're supposed to be back at school. But let me show you on AtlantaNewsFirst.com and Atlanta News First Plus. This is a list of the districts, some of the districts, most of the districts, what you see on your screen that are back to school today. That does include Atlanta Public Schools, Cherokee County, and as I mentioned, Cobb County as well. And Cobb County is actually where we find Atlanta News First Rebecca Schramm for our back to school coverage.
Want you to think about this. Cobb County alone has more than 1,000 school buses. I'm at what they call the bus barn, and we saw bus drivers get here super early this morning, getting their buses ready, making sure all the safety checks are done so that they could hit their routes and pick up students on their first day of the new school year. This is video of some of the buses that started rolling out before sunrise. They've got a lot of precious cargo to pick up. The Cobb County School District has 106,000 students, making it the second largest school district in Georgia behind Gwinnett County. Something to keep in mind with school returning, your morning commute might take longer with all these school buses on the roads. Police want to remind you about Addie's Law. It went into effect July 1st. It carries a $1,000 fine for drivers caught passing a stopped school bus that has its stop arm extended and its lights flashing. The law was named in memory of a young student, Adeline Pierce, who was crossing the street to get to her school bus when she was struck by a car and killed. So just think about that anytime you're near a school bus. And taking another look here, and on a lighter note, later this morning, we're going to be with the superintendent of Cobb County Schools at Kemp Elementary, which is in the Powder Springs area. He's going to greet the students and the teachers on the start of this new school year. Near Marietta and Cobb County, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
Thanks so much to Rebecca for that report. And, you know, it's not just Cobb County, also Atlanta Public Schools back in session again today. And as Rebecca mentioned, you're going to be sharing the roads with buses from here on out for the rest of the year. Atlanta News First Don Shipman is at Sylvan Middle School in Fulton County with a look at their day back to school.
Atlanta's new school superintendent reminding drivers this morning that they are going to be sharing the roads with school buses. And take a look right here at the bus depot. You can see the parking lot not as full as it was earlier this morning because a lot of these buses are already on the streets. Some 50,000 students headed back to school today here in Atlanta. 6,000 teachers are ready to go. The district's 55 elementary schools, 16 middle schools, and 25 high schools, they're going to be packed with students and teachers. I had the opportunity to interview the new superintendent, Dr. Brian Johnson. Now, he says that he's going to be heading to several other schools today. He wants to meet with those teachers and meet with those students. How important is it for you to meet with the staff and meet with the students?
Well, it's extremely important. You gain deeper context, you are able to make connections, and obviously it informs the decisions that you make.
And like you saw there, he also had the opportunity to meet with a lot of the bus drivers here. He and the interim superintendent actually handing out breakfast to the bus drivers here. In Southwest Atlanta, Don Shipman, Atlanta News First.
All right, and thanks so much to Don for that report. Okay, here's a reminder. So Marietta City Schools, they're actually rolling out a new phone policy this year. The school board banned them for middle school students. So the phones are going to be placed in special pouches at the beginning of the school day. It probably has already happened because it's a little after 10 this morning. Students are going to get them back when the final bell rings. And there's a similar policy going into effect at Midtown High School in Atlanta. School officials say they want kids focused on learning and not on TikTok. Also, just a reminder about school safety. We've started to talk about that with our Don Shipman and our Rebecca Schramm, but AAA rolling out its Drive Carefully awareness camp to school. They report that 7 out of 10 drivers will commute through a school zone or a bus stop. And if you want to make sure, to be safe, you definitely just want to slow down, stay alert. of course, every single day. And we also want to let you know that at 10:30, they are holding an event at Herds Ferry Elementary School in Atlanta to kind of kick off back to school roadway safety awareness as well. Okay, let's talk about this forecast as we head back to school. First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin joining us with a look, and
It's gonna be toasty.
it was so hot last night. Honestly,
If
when
you
I got
thought last
home,
night was hot, yeah. Well,
yeah.
it felt muggy last night, right?
it was so muggy and it was so warm.
And the fact that we're going to crank up the temperature today, keep that mugginess, it's going to feel even hotter. Again, that's the thing to keep in mind today. A first alert weather day, not just because of the actual air temperature, which, yes, is going to be hot, but it is going to feel even hotter than that. So please do keep that in mind. First alert weather day today. Heat advisory is in effect for pretty much all of the state of Georgia. Just a few of our mountain counties exempt from that heat advisory. So we're going to walk you through the forecast on this first alert weather day. I want to remind you to stay tuned here as I get my weather graphics ready. You'll see weather graphics here in just a moment. You just got to bear with me as we kind of get our graphics all set here at the Atlanta News First Plus desk. Thank you for tuning in and for watching. I do want to remind you that we are streaming on many platforms, pretty much anywhere you can stream. We are streaming right now. And if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, two best places to ask your weather questions, get those comments answered is... the two best ways: YouTube, Atlanta News First, the YouTube account, also via text. You can text us videos, pictures during times of active weather, or you can just ask your weather questions. That number to text, 470-777-WANF. Again, that is 470-777-9263. So if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, we are there to keep you updated, give you those answers. And again, just bear with me here, having to reset up graphics, switching from news to weather. Sometimes it just takes a moment, and then we can very quickly get back to the stream here. Again, just bear with me here quickly, and I'll have you back up here in just a moment. And we will be back. But again, if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, that is the place to ask. 470-777-WANF, 470-777-9263. Be right back. Alrighty, getting graphics back up here, and a reminder that we are streaming, letting you know first alert weather, and we're tracking traffic here for you, watching the roads. Thankfully, weather not a concern today. And as far as rain is concerned, I should say, today is a first alert weather day. Again, we are working to switch over weather graphics here, and it looks like we're getting those loaded up, hopefully here momentarily. Let's go ahead and take you to current temperatures. And it's already heating up out there. Temperatures briefly got down in the low to mid 70s earlier. Now a first alert weather day, and it is much hotter. Again, first alert radar not tracking too much going on out there right now. Rain is out of the picture for the time being. Maybe a few showers and thunderstorms as we get into this afternoon. But the big story today on this first alert weather day is the fact that it is going to be hot, and it will feel even hotter outside. It will actually feel like it is in the 104 to 108 range pretty easily. Some of our neighborhoods will feel as hot as 110 degrees this afternoon. Already up to 85 degrees at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, 85 Gainesville, 82 Covington, 83 LaGrange, 81 Carrollton, 83 in Eatonton, and that is the actual air temperature. That is not with the humidity factored in. So keep that in mind. It is going to feel even hotter. Case in point, 85 at Hartsfield-Jackson. But look at what it feels like outside right now. It already feels like it is in the 90s, and it is only 10:09 in the morning. This update came in at about 9:53 this morning, about 15, 20 minutes ago. So it is certainly going to be a scorcher of a day across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. We're already warm, even with a westerly breeze. Typically, that's a drier breeze for us, but not today. So first alert weather day, heat advisory is in effect for just about all of North Georgia. In fact, I can pull that up here for you on the map. And the big story today is not just how warm it is, the actual temperature, and it'll be hot, mid to upper 90s, but how hot it feels with that moisture, that humidity in the air factored in, it'll feel like it's between 104, 108 pretty easily. Some neighborhoods feeling as hot as 110 degrees with an isolated chance of showers and thunderstorms as we go into the afternoon. Again, it's not going to be a completely dry day, but I think that the big story today and the reason for the first alert weather day is the fact that we have such hot conditions, abnormally hot, even by our own local standards, which we know it's now early August 1st, going back to school, and middle and North Georgia, it typically is hot, but not usually this hot. Again, the average here, 101 to 107, that's a pretty wide range, but the National Weather Service keying in on the fact that some of our neighborhoods, communities, LaGrange, Troup County, Heard County, Upson County, Butts County, Lamar County, over to Eatonton area, Putnam County, Lake St. Clair and Oconee, these southernmost locations, maybe over to Randolph County, Alabama, could feel as hot as 110 degrees. Only counties really not included in this heat advisory today is Rabun County, White County, Union County, Habersham County, Lumpkin County, Dawson County, Gilmer County, Fannin County, Clay County, North Carolina. So our mountain counties, higher in elevation, cooler. And the biggest difference up there is that humidity is just a bit lower this afternoon, especially as we get into the afternoon, and really the peak heating time period. So forecast heat index hour by hour, feeling like 94 at 9 a.m. That's pretty much right on target with what we're feeling. 95 degrees in the 9 o'clock hour here with that latest update from Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. So right on cue here. It's feeling hot, and it's only going to feel hotter as we get into the afternoon. Feeling as hot as 107 degrees as we get to 3 p.m., 4, 5, 6 p.m. Temperatures in the lower 100s. That is what it will feel like. So it's going to be a scorcher of a day, hence the first alert weather day. Simply put, just avoid the strenuous outdoor activity in the afternoons and early evenings, that hottest point of the day. And try to drink extra water. Stay hydrated. It's not just the water, it's the electrolytes too, those natural salts. You need that to keep your body in that homeostasis and to keep everything moving as it should, so to speak. Doesn't look like we have any weather questions coming in on YouTube. Atlanta News First, though, is the account to like and to follow. And we want to remind you that we are never more than, a couple clicks away from giving you that latest forecast update. You can grab the forecast in the First Alert Weather app anytime. Also at atlantanewsfirst.com. Latest forecast there. In fact, we're going to be recording a new app update here in just a few minutes, and we'll have it in your phone within the next hour or so as we get some new data coming in. The big story today is mentioned over and over again. It is the heat, how hot it is and how hot it feels with that humidity, that moisture in the air factored in. Other thing to consider today, though, we do have a chance of some showers and thunderstorms. I think mostly dry today, but not completely dry. So let's keep that in mind. We'll roll you hour by hour through the afternoon forecast. And you'll notice here that we begin dry, nothing really going on locally, a couple of showers northeast Alabama, Tennessee, far western, kind of higher elevations of North Carolina. But watch what happens as we get into the late afternoon, early evening. Some isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms will start popping up. Now, I don't think it's a day where every neighborhood sees rain. In fact, many probably won't. But along with the heat, the humidity, eventually those ingredients giving way to isolated showers and thunderstorms developing late this afternoon and early evening. Rain subsides later this evening after sunset, overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. And then once again, tomorrow is a first alert weather day. Just as hot, just as humid as today. Dry start, muggy start with just a partly cloudy sky. And then as we get into the afternoon, once again, isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms develop north. They move to the south and east. Probably by mid to late afternoon, you're hoping for a cooling downpour, but that rain chance tomorrow is relatively limited. Not anticipating a washout. First alert weather days today and tomorrow because it's hot and feeling hotter. Heat advisories in effect for just about all of the state. A handful of our mountain counties not included. Again, popping this back up for you. Willing to bet they will reissue a similar heat advisory for tomorrow afternoon and early evening. Technically, though, this one is already in effect as of 14 minutes ago and runs through 9 o'clock this evening. So a pretty extended duration of our heat advisory conditions there. Dangerous heat or near dangerous heat as we get into the afternoon in particular. That's going to be the hottest point of the day into the beginning, the start of our afternoon hours, or our evening hours, should say. Doing a shift gears, give you a quick update. We are also watching, and this is days down the pike, An area of disturbed weather, storminess, or tropical wave moving through the greater Antilles. A 60% chance of tropical development from this system as of the last update from the National Hurricane Center. Forecast to encounter more favorable ingredients for development as it approaches the Gulf of Mexico, likely in the eastern Gulf as we get into the weekend early next week. And once there, some slowing down of the system is possible. This system may meander for a couple days, few days, or more, even if not technically tropical. So this is going to be the next thing to watch beyond our heat that we're dealing with right now. Just keep an eye on the forecast, especially if you have plans in Florida, plans along the north central and the eastern Gulf Coast. Though this could bring some impacts to our local forecast as well, really beyond the 7-day forecast, day 8, day 9, day 10. A lot of uncertainty when you get that far out, especially with a system like this one. But we'll be keeping you updated here and at AtlantaNewsFirst.com, as well as in the First Alert Weather app. Again, I want to thank you for tuning in and for watching. I want to remind you we're going to be back live again here in just a bit. Weather where you are at 11:30. We'll have a news update before then at 11 a.m. and then back with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez at noon with your latest First Alert forecast update. And if there are any tweaks from the National Hurricane Center with his extended forecast, we will have them then. We'll leave you with a live look outside. Truist Park, that's Kennesaw Mountain in the background, just a bit hazy, kind of a filtered sunshine out there. Sunshine, though, sending temperatures to the 90s this afternoon, and it will feel much hotter than that. Heat advisory in effect today and tomorrow, our First Alert weather days with big-time heat in the forecast.